just when you think that Racing Studios have brought out the best, the greatest, the latest mod for Assetto Corsa, they do it again. They bring out another one, and every time it seems even better than the last. They've done it again. Racing Studios have just released their new mod for Assetto Corsa. The LMP1 ProTech P91 Hybrid Evo, or more commonly known as Porsche 919 Evo. It's here, it's official, it's for Assetto Corsa, and we're going to drive it today. So for those of you who are unaware what the Porsche 919 Evo is, Porsche took their LMP1 car from 2016 that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, as well as various other World Endurance events, and tinkered with it a little bit, removing all restrictors and basically unregulating the car, getting as much power as possible out of their 2-litre V4 turbocharged engine with two hybrid systems, one that runs off the brakes and one that runs off the exhaust gases. This combined gives a total power output of 1,169 brake horsepower. Off boost, you're probably talking about 600, but with all the hybrid enabled, over 1,100 horsepower. This power, while weighing in at only 919 kilograms, is an absolute astonishing thing when you stamp that hybrid button. With the four-wheel drive traction from the hybrid system as well, there's no sliding, there's no grip, it's just bang, gone. Oh, you're doing 200 miles an hour already. This thing is ridiculous. The downforce is off the scale. Porsche took the car and made it as grippy as possible. Didn't have to follow any regulations. And what did they do with this car? They took it hot lapping. Of course, it couldn't race anymore. It didn't fit into any racing category. So they took it to Spa. They took it to the Nordschleife and absolutely obliterated lap times. In fact, at Spa in 2016, this car was faster than F1 cars of the era. Of course, 2017, the F1 cars became lower, wider with the fatter tyres and defeated the 919 Evo again, but it just goes to show how amazingly ridiculous this 919 Evo was. And Racing Studios have captured the essence of this car absolutely perfectly. And I think as Spa was one of the first test beds for the real car, I'm going to take it to Spa and go for a few laps in this car and see what it's all about and show you guys what it's all about as well at home. So I'm going to fire up my old VR headset, jump into the car, and I will see you guys on the track. So here we are, mounted into our 919 Evo, and the thing that gets me, one, is just how small the cockpits of these LMP1 cars are. There is no room in here whatsoever. And two, once again, with every Racing Studios mod, the detail, the attention to detail in here is so awesome. From all the buttons on the wheel in the right place, down to the little buttons all along here, the ignition, the starter. You've got the telemetry boxes, you've got the little pipes and the ductings, even down to the GoPro sitting there. Both of them, in fact. I didn't even notice the second one, where they recorded these high-speed runs, and even the little Spa logo up in the top of the cockpit there. But anyway, we're here at Spa. We're here in an 1,100 horsepower prototype. There's nothing really else to do except, well, do this. And already the acceleration is absolutely off the scale. And, oh, okay, interesting. I have no force feedback. 1 second. Alright, so, force feedback re-enabled. I don't know what went on there. Still trying to get to grips with the new Thrustmaster DD and having a few teething problems. But anyway, let's pull out of the pits and go for our first sighter lap. Whoa! The acceleration! There's 270, there's 280, there's 290. Already, almost 300 kilometers an hour, flat up Eau Rouge on cold tyres. And then we're still pulling. There's 310. There's 320 almost. We're on the lower hybrid mode as well. There's 200 miles an hour. Hard on the brakes for Lecum. Oh, God, the speed you can carry is ridiculous. This is insanity. Oh, my God, the boost. The boost out of the corner. It hits you in the back of the head. Down into the hairpin at Bruxelles. Ugh. Bit wide on entry. Tyres are still cold and not quite up to temperature yet. Through No Name. And then again, the acceleration. Just watch the speedo climb. Like, from nothing to 270 kilometers an hour in half a second, it feels like. It is ridiculous. Completely flat on the exit of Pouon, and then down into Leifania. Smack the brakes hard. No even hint of a lockup. The downforce is absolutely off the scale. Oh, Stavlo one very wide. And now, again, just watch that speed climb. There's 250, there's 260. I'm going to hold the hybrid button with my left thumb. We're deploying all 1100 horsepower right now. There's 350, there's 360 almost. I'm taking a narrow entry into Blanchimont, and it's still flat. What is that? Very hard hit onto the brakes into the bus stop chicane. And now let's unleash it for the first flying lap here at Spa. Up to La Source. How late do we dare brake? Nice and late. Or a bit wide of the apex, but that's not a problem. Third gear through there. And then the torque on the exit. This engine alone, the turbocharged 2-litre V4 engine, remember, produces over nearly 700 Newton meters of torque. That's just from the internal combustion engine alone. Once you add in the fact that it's four-wheel drive and it's hybrid, the torque and the corner exit is absolutely ridiculous. The speed you can carry. This is F1 level speed. So when Porsche took the 919 Evo to Spa, of course, in 2016, the problem was, it wasn't that the machinery wasn't good enough to beat the lap time it had. That's just a small lift. That's got to be flat. That's got to be flat. Sorry, I interrupted myself there. The speed you can carry through Pouon. It wasn't the machinery that was being held back. It was the driver. He didn't have the time to practice to get to grips with just the raw grip of the car because, one, the session wasn't too long that they had, and two, the driver was starting to tire through the sheer G-forces of the cornering. He couldn't keep himself in a fit enough state to be able to drive the car. That's what we're looking at for lap time. Down into the bus stop chicane, down to second gear, and then floor it on the exit. And already into the 46.7. A 146.7. Now I'm going to have to actually hold off a second and go and check the lap time because I can't precisely remember what it was. So the 919 Evo in real life did a 41.7, so we are 5 seconds away from what this car managed in real life. I think we've got some time to find. Of course, we are still only on the lowest hybrid mode. We're on high fuel as well. So there's much more time to be found in this car. Is Pouon flat? Is Pouon flat? Is Pouon flat? Pouon's flat. Pouon is completely flat. Not even a hint of a lift there. So just to explain a bit, with the hybrid modes on this car, they range from very low to very high. And there's 5 settings in between. On the dashboard here, you have 2 bars on the outside of the steering wheel. The blue one on the left is your deployment per lap, which is unlimited in this car, of course, following no regulations. And the orange bar on the right is your state of charge, so how much how much the battery is charged, basically. So if we get over the top of Radeon here, and then I hit the boost button on my left thumb, watch that bar drop, but watch the speed climb. There's 350, there's 360, and this thing will carry on all the way up to 268 kilometers an hour, and that is the longest the gearing allows. And oh, we're coming into Lake Como at such a high speed. Whew. This car is a brain workout as well as a physical one. You have to be so concentrating, so alert when the speeds you're carrying and the way it just darts across the racetrack. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, F1 cars are quick. For a sports car, for a prototype, not an open wheeler, for a prototype, this thing is absolutely nuts. And you got to remember, this car was built off a car not designed for hot lapping, not designed for hour and a half sprint races, but for something that can put in lap times for 24 hours at a time. Of course, winning both the 24 Hours of Le Mans and various other WEC events. But anyway, let's see what we can do. Can we up the hybrid modes? MG UK delivery on very high. Let's go for a hot lap here at Spa. Down to La Source, brake nice and late, down to second gear, turn it in, and then plant the throttle, let the four-wheel drive, let the torque take over, and now just hear that hybrid deploy all the way up. Now over the top of Radeon, again, completely flat, cut it as smooth as possible, cut the inside as much as possible, and then hold that boost button. We don't want to deploy too much, let's just get up to top speed and then let go of it. And now we're just back to the ICE. Now they can't brake just at the start of the curb. Oh, a bit wide of the apex there. Definitely time to find. Oh, bit of understeer. Flat on the exit. Use all of the runoff available. Brake hard down into the hairpin of Bruxelles. There's a downhill braking zone, so you've got to brake a bit earlier than you're thinking. And completely flat on exit. Dab of the brakes through No Name. Down into Pouhon. Now let's take this completely flat. Turn it in. Just let the downforce take over. Oh, that is glorious. I actually have a semi right now, just thinking about going through there flat. Down to Le Fagna. Tricky. Got to sacrifice the first for the best exit out of the second. The grip on the exit is just sublime. Very wide of Stavlo 1. Time to find there. And now Stavlo 2 completely flat. Before we power all the way, let's deploy more of that hybrid. We don't need any at the end of the lap. Let's get it. VMAX just before Blanchimont. Bit of a rough line. It wasn't really looking. We're now out of the hybrid. We'll regen a little bit. Down to the braking zone at the bus stop chicane. And then floor it on exit. Hold that boost button to the line. And we are still a second and a half off what the car managed in real life. Whew. Okay, I'm going to go back to the pits. Make a couple of adjustments. And then we'll go from there. So we've taken some fuel out, adjusted the ride heights just ever so slightly to try and give us a bit more top speed and downforce. Let's chuck it up a few high modes right up to the top, very high. Make sure we get a good drive out of the bus stop. And let's try and find the second and a half to beat the 919 lap time here at Spa. Cross the line, start a flying lap. Right, 1.5 seconds to find. A lot of that is just going to come through not having skill issues, especially into Stavlo 2. That's going to find us a lot of time. Floor it on the exit. Brilliant La Source. Already 3/10 up. Let gravity take over. Down the hill. Bang the inside curb. Up the hill, over the crest. The stomach goes light. And VR, that's what I love about VR. And then we're just going to hold the boost, hold the hybrid, not deploy too much, all the way up to about 370. Into Lecom, actually hit the apex, sacrifice the speed through there so we can get as best exit as possible. Flat nice and early. But the run down into Bruxelles hairpin, brake just at the start of that curb. Run the inside line and then flat on the exit. There's so much time to find there. Dab with the brakes through No Name, missed the apex, but it doesn't matter. We're still 6/10 up. And now Pouhon again. Flat, just the confidence to just flick the wheel in there. I cannot describe in words how that feels. Just to have the confidence to flick the wheel across the track and the car just sticks with it. It just responds, it just darts. And I still can't bloody hit that apex of Stavlo 1. We get a nice exit out of Stavlo 2. We're going to hold the hybrid, deploy as much of it as possible, run it all the way out. Now let's get a good line through Stavlo, through Blanchimont, sorry. Better. We're 1.3 seconds up. This might not be enough. Oh, a bit clumsy through the bus stop, but nail the hybrid to the line. And it's going to be a 1:41.8. We've got 1/10 to find. Oh, we're a 10th away. That 10th is in Stavlo 1. I know it. I know that 10th is in Stavlo 1. Come on. Come on, I can do this. One more lap.
Whoa! Track limit!
Yeah, that lap's not going to count. I don't count that last corner. Come on, I got one more shot at this. We haven't beat it yet. That lap doesn't count. We're not going to count that last corner. That was too wide, too cheaty on the exit. That's not a valid lap time in my opinion. So one more walk cooldown lap. Hope we don't run out of fuel. And then go for one more flying lap. Man, this car's addicting. I actually hit it. Actually hit Stavlo 1. Slow. Damn it! Messed up the bus stop again! But still a 715. Still not beating that lap time. Oh. Nice. It's almost the apex, but we've got a good nice exit. Come on, that's got to be it, surely. Yes! 41.4, come on! And it was valid. I am out of breath now. This car takes such an amount of concentration to push, to react so quickly. RSS, I am blown away, and well, I'm sure the car might be a little bit fast compared to its IRL counterpart. It's pretty damn close. Without the fear of death or crashing a one-off £1 million race car, you can push this and just about beat that real-life lap. Of course, I want to see you guys. I want to see you guys go take this car on. The car is a paid mod, of course, about £4 or so, which for something which is of iRacing quality, you cannot argue about it whatsoever. This thing's addicting, man. Spa beaten, though. Just about. Oh, man. So there we are, guys. We beat the Spa lap time, and what a car this thing is. An absolute downforce maniac, intoxicating, addicting in every single way in VR with a direct drive wheel. This is absolutely off the scale with the immersion, with the speed, the rawness of it, everything about. I just love it. RSS have just wow. RSS have absolutely obliterated this car in every good way of saying it. It is, oh, it's gorgeous. As I said at the end there, this car is about £3 or £4. You can choose to pay more if you wish, and it is worth every single penny. The link will be in the description below for this car, and yeah. Spa completed. Stay tuned for the next episode, because we might be going to a certain German racetrack where this thing demolished a lap time very, very soon indeed. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like. Thank you so much for the support as well on my recent video on my new DD wheel, hitting 4K views. That's double my most ever viewed other video. So yeah, thank you guys at home. If you do enjoy, please leave a like, subscribe if you want to as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.